the skies above the Middle East are now missile corridors. In the last 72 hours, Israel has come under the heaviest aerial assault in its history. Over 300 Iranian ballistic missiles, drones, and cruise weapons have torn through the airspace, flattening homes, killing civilians, and overwhelming one of the most advanced air defense networks in the world. For over a decade, Israel had built what military planners call a multi-layered kill web to stop incoming threats. But this week, the kill web bled. The Iron Dome, known for neutralizing short-range rockets from Gaza, was never meant to handle one-ton warheads or hypersonic payloads. Yet it's working overtime. David Sling, the next layer, intercepts cruise missiles and medium-range threats. Further up the ladder, Arrow 2 and Arrow 3. Designed to knock out ballistic missiles at the edge of space, Arrow 3 is Israel's exo-atmospheric assassin. But even this billion-dollar dome can be saturated. And Iran's new tactic is to launch simultaneous salvos from multiple locations, like Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, forcing Israel's defense systems to engage targets faster than they were built to. Iran's arsenal is no longer a mystery. Forget the old Shahab missiles. On Thursday, Iranian missiles struck a major hospital in southern Israel and hit residential buildings in Tel Aviv, injuring 240 people and causing widespread destruction. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz placed direct blame on Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, declaring that the military has been instructed and knows that in order to achieve all of its goals, this man absolutely should not continue to exist. In retaliation, Israel launched airstrikes on Iran's Arak heavy water reactor, its latest effort to dismantle Iran's expansive nuclear program. Iranian state television reported that the facility had been evacuated prior to the attack and assured there was no radiation danger whatsoever. Meanwhile, the White House stated that President Donald Trump would decide within 2 weeks whether the U.S. would join in striking Iran. Officials added that Trump still believes there's a substantial chance that negotiations could satisfy both U.S. and Israeli demands regarding Iran's nuclear ambitions. Since October 2023, Israel has been battling Iran's regional proxies, Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and the Houthis in Yemen. But this conflict is different. It's not a fight against a non-state group in a border zone. This time, Israel is confronting a fully capable, missile-armed, ideologically driven nation-state. And it's learning in real time, Iran is no Hamas. Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a campaign of deep strikes inside Iran targeting nuclear facilities and assassinating high-ranking commanders. The goal? Cripple the nuclear program and break the military's chain of command. But instead of collapsing, Iran retaliated. In less than 48 hours, it launched nearly 300 drones and missiles, including its most advanced models, against major Israeli cities like Tel Aviv, Haifa, and Petah Tikva. The message was clear: we are not Gaza. We strike back. Perhaps the greatest shock to Israeli defense planners was that Iran's command structure didn't fall apart. Despite the loss of top IRGC officials, Iran's military doctrine, particularly within the Revolutionary Guard, is built to absorb decapitation strikes, reorganize, and retaliate. Within days, Iran resumed its missile operations, launched coordinated counterattacks, and even unveiled a new system to confuse and overwhelm Israel's air defense systems. Israel's Air Force, Mossad sabotage units, and elite pilots have inflicted damage, reportedly neutralizing 1/3 of Iran's missile launchers and degrading parts of its radar and S-300 air defense systems. But the challenge remains. Air dominance is not the same as air supremacy. Iran is vast, mountainous, and its nuclear infrastructure is buried under reinforced rock deep inside mountains. Even with U.S. assistance, penetrating those bunkers is difficult. Without it, it might be impossible. The effectiveness of Israel's Iron Dome and Arrow defense systems has dropped as Iran now mixes ballistic missiles, drones, and cruise weapons in synchronized salvos. This is why talk of regime change in Iran has always been a fantasy. It's a regime that survived an 8-year war with Saddam Hussein, decades of crippling sanctions, cyber attacks, assassinations, sabotage, and uprisings, yet continues to grow its military, nuclear program, and regional influence. Now, Iran is even threatening to withdraw from a nuclear non-proliferation treaty and considering the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, a move that could choke off 20% of the world's oil supply. Unlike Hamas or even Hezbollah, Iran has satellites, cruise missiles, hypersonic-capable warheads, a cyber army, global oil leverage, and the ability to absorb strategic bombing without immediate collapse. Hezbollah has gone quiet. Hamas has been all but dismantled in Gaza. But Tehran stands and still fires back. Even President Trump reportedly blocked an Israeli plan to assassinate Khamenei, warning that Israel may have gone too far. The U.S. seeks diplomacy. Israel wants a decisive blow. Iran is gambling that neither will get what they want. Every Israeli airstrike, every Iron Dome interceptor, every precision-guided bomb, most are American-supplied. But the one weapon that could penetrate Iran's most fortified nuclear site, Fordow, the massive ordnance penetrator, is only deployable by US B-2 bombers. And for now, Trump has kept those bombers grounded. Iran isn't aiming for quick victory, it's playing a long game. A game of survival, leverage, and endurance. Iran's offer is simple. If Israel stops, we stop. But until that happens, its strategy is to bleed Israel slowly, project strength, and wait for American diplomacy. Drone swarms, missile barrages, salvos that slip through Israeli defenses, and the looming threat of escalation, whether by closing the Strait of Hormuz or dragging U.S. assets into the fight, signal a level of power Hamas never had. Now, new developments are raising the stakes. Iran has unveiled a new generation of ballistic missiles, like the Qassam-Basr, capable of reaching deep into Israeli territory, and has warned it could close the Strait of Hormuz, choking off global oil shipments. Inside Iran, covert attacks have intensified. Reports claim Mossad has activated drone teams operating within Iranian territory, striking air defenses and missile launchers in advance of Israel's June offensive. Israel, in turn, has launched dozens of precision strikes on Iranian nuclear and military facilities across Natanz, Isfahan, Qom, and even Bushehr, allegedly setting Iran's nuclear timeline back by years. But the cost has been steep. Iranian salvos have killed 24 civilians inside Israel, and while most were intercepted, several slipped through the Iron Dome. Economically, the toll is mounting. Israel is burning through billions of shekels as the war drags on, raising concerns about the sustainability of its campaign. In Geneva, Iran's diplomats have walked out of talks, stating clearly no return to negotiations until Israel halts its assault. And while the U.S. urges calm, B-2 bombers remain grounded. Trump has issued a 2-week ultimatum, but for now, America stays on the sidelines. Turkey and several EU leaders are warning of a wider regional war. And Iran? It's not backing down. It's waiting, watching, betting that time and pressure will force either diplomacy or disaster. This isn't just a shadow war anymore. It's a slow, methodical unraveling, with the whole region holding its breath.